It's a pleasure and honor for me that such a meeting, important meeting, is taking part in Slovak Republic.
From the 17th to the 19th of September, the village of Vysoke Tatry, the High Tatras in Slovakia, hosted NATO's annual military committee conference. Upon arrival, the committee members were welcomed by the Slovakian military authorities. The 28 NATO chiefs of defence, together with their chairman, Admiral Giampaolo de Paola, and NATO's two strategic commanders, Admiral Stavridis and General Stéphane Abrial, gathered to discuss NATO operations, NATO reform, and the new strategic concept. This year's military committee conference was officially opened by Her Excellency Ms. Iveta Radičová, the Slovakian Prime Minister.
This is the historical first meeting of Military Committee Conference 2010. In Slovak Republic, NATO has really strong trust. It's increasing each year, and at present it's more than 2/3 of our inhabitants who have real trust.
After the official opening, the military committee focused on operations, and in particular on the situation in Afghanistan. ISAF Commander, General David Petraeus, who participated in the meeting via video conference, and Admiral Stavridis, Supreme Allied Commander for Operations, briefed NATO's highest military authorities on the evolution of the operation with a look to the future.
60% of the people of Afghanistan believe their country is headed in the right direction. 75% of the people of Afghanistan support the Afghan security forces in the fight against the insurgents, and the insurgency has only a 9% approval rating. Also, we have to train the Afghan security forces. We've generated 240,000 Afghan security forces, army and police. We've done that 3 months ahead of schedule. Without trainers, we will not be able to get to transition. Thirdly, we have got to have the balance right between civil and military activities. I think if we get those three things right, strategic communications, train the Afghan security forces, and the civil-military balance, we will succeed in Afghanistan, and I believe that we shall.
The encouraging progress made by the Afghan National Security Forces towards achieving the standards required to allow sustainable transition was noted by the MC. Later, at a press conference, Admiral de Paola called for an additional effort for making transition real.
The Allies have to make an effort, focus their own priority on training the Afghan National Security Forces. And in this, all of us, including your country, including this country, is providing a sizable contribution. And we hope that there will be some extra by everybody so that we can focus on that.
Noting SACEUR's positive report on the overall security situation in Kosovo, Chiefs of Defence confirmed their commitment to the KFOR operation and looked forward to a timely recommendation from the NATO military authorities to move to the next step, Gate 2, of deterrence presence, to be submitted to the North Atlantic Council. The second day, the possible implications that the new strategic concept may have on the military aspects of the alliance were discussed and analysed with Supreme Allied Commander Transformation, General Stéphane Abrial.
The new strategic concept will drive my work in Allied Command Transformation because it will give us a new vision for NATO and of NATO. We will have the right vision we will have to implement from the military side. And personally, as a military commander, I expect this strategic concept to be clear, to be realistic, and to be flexible, because it will have to stay valid for the next 10, 15 years as a good guidance for us, despite the inevitable strategic surprises we will encounter.
The new strategic concept is expected to be approved in November during the NATO Summit of Heads of State and Government in Lisbon, and is closely connected to the ongoing work at NATO headquarters in Brussels on the NATO Command Structures Review. This was thoroughly analysed, along with the critical capabilities required to ensure operational effectiveness in a resource-constrained context. Military Committee Chairman Admiral de Paola summarises.
When money is short, you need more brain. You need more focus, intelligence, and intelligent use of resources. So Financial constraints are not necessarily a driver, because the transformation would be needed even if we had all the money of the world. But certainly, the fact that we are in financial constraint situation, this will inevitably make even more necessary to change ourselves for the new requirement and to put the resources where they are really needed.
General Lubomir Bulik, Chief of Defence of the Slovak Republic, puts this in a national perspective.
The financial economical crisis is touching us very hard, and I think it's time to speak with the other countries, with our partners, how we can effectively use the very limited resources and to do many things together.
The outcome of the discussions during the military conference will be brought to the attention of the North Atlantic Council in preparation for the NATO ministerial meeting to be held in Brussels mid-October.